Hey guys, welcome back to CK3. Now, I decided to try and take one more shot at this. I'm going to try and turn Wessex Petty Kingdom into the Kingdom of England. The thing that concerns me the most is honestly Viking Raiders, to be fair. But we're going to try and do this because I've done it before, but off the screen, so you guys haven't been really present to celebrate with me, if you will. And I want you guys to be able to share this moment with me, so I'm going to try it again. And hopefully it works. We got King Abraham, Petty King Abraham. He is 16 years old at the moment. And the first order of business is that we need to start giving out some titles and get my king married, etc. I mean, he would be a nice ally, to be honest. Let's send that proposal, and I'm going to start issuing titles out because I can't hold this many. But I'm also going to play the game just temporarily so that we can get my marriage and whatnot. Okay, we got a alliance with the Spanish king, which he's going to be a nice ally because he has a superior army to us currently. By the time I'm done with England, though, I'm hoping that's not the case. And I'd like to form the Kingdom of England with Wessex before he actually dies. But we will see if we can actually do that. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my council and I'm going to put this dude on foreign affairs. Okay, so let's go with development for the steward. We should have a decent steward, honestly, but we'll see. Hamptonshire, yes, it's a skill 10. He's not the greatest in stewardship. I've had a lot better, but I can't complain either, so we'll keep him in that spot until we find someone else. And I'm going to change her to stewardship to manage my domain so that I can hold more titles at one time currently until she dies or if I die. And now at this point, that's why I waited until I had my marriage, actually, so that's why we're doing that. But at this point, we're going to start issuing titles out. How many? Oh, so they changed the subjects thing, the vassalage thing, to subjects. Okay, that's interesting. It's no longer vassals, it's subjects. That's an interesting change. Although they do have grant vassal still, so that's interesting. I'm gonna grant him this, and then I'm basically gonna go and essentially go down my vassalage list or my subjects list and grant them the titles until we get the amount that I can hold. This allows me to have decent relations with the subjects, etc., etc. So I always try to go right down the list until I actually get the required amount that I can hold. He's actually better at martial. So let's put that guy in there. Now we got a better diplomat than we had before. Let's see here. And then that's going to bring me down to 11 and increase him by 10. So that's good. And we also need to grant him some titles as well. He's going to get 2 places, I guess. Grant titles, and he's going to get 2 as well. Diplomat, the highest diplomat that we actually have. We're gonna unfortunately stick this guy in there because he's already the marshal and he's actually better at martial than diplomacy, so we're just going to assign this guy a little bit less effective diplomat, but that should be okay. It's the cost we have to pay for trying to get my domain back down to a manageable level. Okay, and so we're gonna grant that guy that, and then what's funny is that it still says vassal like next to their name or something, but the tab is called subject now. Need to get rid of 2 more titles. Okay, 1 more title after this, and we'll give that to this dude right here, just to get my domain 6. I tried to divide the territory as much as I can, evenly as much as I can, but sometimes that does not play out the way I want it to. Are you joking me, dude?
Grant wants to do it, let him do it. Don't freaking tell him otherwise.
I'm not talking about that. Look at the damn screen. I only have 1,800 men to support him with. I only have 1,800 men to support him with. Like, I can't do that.
Grant just texted and said that that we're gonna spawn stuff back in. Okay? Just leave that be, I guess. Let Grant do what he wants to do.
Dumbasses. I guess I'll support you in your war, but I'm not sending troops or nothing. Cause I'm not doing this bullcrap. Okay, but where's the build page? That's what I want to know. Dude, I haven't played this since they dropped that update and it screwed up to what I was used to. I see how this is now. Okay. Honestly, we need more money, but you know what? We also need plague resistance, so I'm gonna go with that. And what else are we gonna do? I'd like to do something with concerning the military, but at the same time, I know we need to build up an economic system, so I'm kinda torn between the two. Let's build a barracks here. Okay. That pilgrim quarters thing is not going to generate us a lot of money, but hopefully though it'll generate enough to pull us out of the negative. It should, but right now we're actually going to be losing money for a little bit. Really? So we have approval ratings now. This is interesting. I'm going to flip through this entire thing. Oh, well, this is interesting. As it stands, because I have no heir, the 10 titles that we do have under the Kingdom of Wessex, we're gonna lose that because I have no heir. This is a completely different game in some aspects. This is interesting. Okay, maybe with King Charles joining that as an ally during the war, we could send some troops to support. But then again, I only have 1,600 and nothing actually special. And we're finally in the green by 3.8. So if I raise those troops, we're gonna go back to being negative. I did not expect him to go to war, and so I signed that alliance because it was a powerful alliance, so I was gonna use it to unify England. And I still might, because technically I did join his war. I don't necessarily have to send support though. I don't think I would lose prestige if I joined it, but then I didn't support him officially. We'll find out though. But I really don't want to send troops now because, again, as of right now, I only have 1,600. So we don't really have a whole crap load of men to use, to be honest. I want to recruit for a court position, which we don't have a whole lot of money, honestly, but position's gonna be expensive if I want to get a good one. So although I could see if I have someone in my court to do that. Let me see if I do. It's gotta be a decent person though. I mean, we might as well throw the average guy in there for right now because we just don't have the money to be thrown around, but we need somebody in there. I mean, I do have that plague building too, but it's just kinda right now Wessex can't afford to put a decent doctor in there, so I'm hoping that eventually though we'll expand some. I think I want to start with Cornwall because they're not gonna have a whole lot of troops, which once leads me to my next point. I want to try to fabricate a claim on at least a part of Cornwall. I don't know what Cornwall actually has in terms of military, but based on the size of them, I don't think they would have much. Let's take a look. Yeah, they only have 700 men. I could crush that easy even at the current state that I am at. I'm hoping that Spanish guy doesn't lose, but at the same time, I can't afford to support him right now because I don't have, number one, I don't have money coming in, and number two, I don't have the troops to do it, so that's just not gonna happen. But I have good plans for Wessex. England as a whole, actually, to be honest. But my plans are being put on hold because we don't have a whole lot of money, first of all, like I said, and second, we don't have a whole lot of troops either. I am building one of the buildings to increase income and military. I did do that. You'll see that on screen, but it's still a waiting game, guys. And at the current amount of troops that we have, we're not going to do much with 1,800 troops. I'm sorry. We're just not. We do have on guards though. And we have a decent amount of bowmen. Actually, we have more than I expected when we started. So we really don't have a bad army at all. I would just like to have more levies. Maybe 2,000 before we started doing stuff. And the monthly income has now increased to 4.7. So obviously it's gradually growing, but it's going to be a slow grind. And we got like a little less than 2 years before that claim is orchestrated on Cornwall. At least that county of it. And then we got 10 years until this development point is done in our current capital. I think what we'll do is I'll try to fight Cornwall in this episode, and then we'll call it. Again, my biggest concern is the Viking Raiders. I'm not going to lie, we got Vikings dividing up on England itself, which we're gonna have to conquer. More specifically, the one that I'm worried about, Jorvik. Okay, while out on leisurely stroll, blah blah blah, somebody's trying to sell me something, essentially. Yikes. Alright, I do not like the odds of that. Honestly, I don't. Let's just move on, bro, because that's crappy. And I need to save the money to build up my realm some more. So I'm not going to be spending money unless it like benefits me, or if I have a high chance of it having a positive impact. But right now I need to save the money, bro. Let me see if I can't get my wife pregnant right now. Crap. Okay, I'm just gonna honestly seduce her just because we need an heir. Oh, that's quite the change right there. They even changed the raid thing. That's interesting. That's really interesting. And it's 200 raiders. Let's go take care of them, because I'm not gonna, like, I'm not dealing with this raider bullcrap unless I can't actually fight them. My fighting prowess is not the greatest, but I really like the changes that they made to this game, dude. Some of them came for free, but some of it, I'm sure you have to get the new DLC that dropped about the Asians and whatnot, but this is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Put up with your raider bullcrap. Get out of here. I think that might be one of my vassals that is actually going after him as well, like directly. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's actually working. That's interesting. Now let's go kick some ass. Get out of here, you Viking retard raiders. I don't want nothing to do with you. Right now, let's go to the military tab and disband all armies. There we go. And that was quite nice, because it started off weak. I know the Viking raids are gonna get stronger, but that's kind of why I'm trying to do things the way I'm trying to do them. Okay, these seducing gains traction. Again, I'll leave you guys these up long enough for you to read them, because I am a terrible reader. That's part of my disability, but I'll try to keep you guys in the loop of what's going on. I am just a terrible verbal reader. I don't do too bad when I read them myself, but terrible verbal reader, guys. So I'm not gonna be reading these pops up. I'm just gonna give you the guys the synopsis of what's going on. Okay, it seems to be working. Steam seems to be working. And nice. And that plan, oh geez. Yes, that did not work out the way I wanted to. Bad impressions. That's not good. Okay, now we actually have 4.8 a month coming in, which really isn't all that bad. But how much do we actually have in regards to, okay, she is actually pregnant now. That is fantastic. How much longer do we have until those realm things are completed actually? I want to see. So we can even add stuff to the domain at this point, because we have 100 gold. I'm going to take a look at what we can actually do with it. I don't think we're going to be able to do much, but we will see what we can do. 35.35 a month. That seems nice. Okay, alright. Development growth. I almost want to put this trade port in, because that's going to also increase development growth by 10%. But I would need about 150 gold at that point to get that. Or, see, this is tempting, guys, because I know we need soldiers, and well, whatnot. I know we need all that, but we also need money, because if we don't have money, we can't maintain an army. So I'm kinda torn between the two. I almost wanna actually put that trade port in, or this forestry, which decrease the construction time for about 2%. But one of the two, yeah, these raiders are busy. And it looks like we're not only the only kingdom having issues, it's other English kingdoms as well. We're about to get more men in about 15 months, which will be extremely helpful. And then we're about to get the pilgrims quarters in about 2 years or so. 4 months from 2 years. So give or take 2 years, we'll get the pilgrim quarters, which once you upgrade those, they actually start to pull in a decent amount of money. But the biggest benefit is the plague resistance that they give you. And that claim on Cornwall is almost done, actually. So we might be spending the money on the claim for Cornwall, which is not really the way I wanted things to go. I should have thought it through, but honestly, to expand more, even though I have to give one of the titles to one of my vassals, that is what it is. At least we have more territory under the Wessex banner, and hopefully later on under the English banner, because the ultimate goal here is to unify the whole entire English coast under one banner. And then I'll be doing Ireland and that as well to turn it into Britannia. But it's going to start as England, and it's going to take some time. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is going to be a very, very long series. I'm not going to lie to you guys, because it's going to take some time to be able to do this. But I would like to actually take that title from Cornwall within this episode, which we're approaching 20 minutes from the hour time. So I'm not going to be playing for too much longer, because I want this to be watchable for you guys. But apparently, the way England has its inheritance stuff set up, if you have a daughter, which we just did, she will be queen until you have a son. So that's that. So now we have a queen on the way to being queen, but I gotta make sure that she name that I can actually say. Margaret, that's a pretty name. Let's go with Margaret. I want to pause the game real quick and get her education actually going. Okay, Margaret, let's look at your current stats. Okay, so you're actually going to be better if you go down the stewardship line here. So let's have you do the same thing that daddy did. And then of course, educate child. And before I say that it's myself, I'm going to see if we have better learned person out here. Yeah, actually we do. We have this guy. So I'm gonna have him educate her, because that's how it works. You put your children with the highest learning person, and then their education is better, generally. So let's go ahead and do that. Grandma is actually still alive. Apparently, my mother is still alive. My father, oh really? Okay, I see. So the king of Spain is dead, and that was Grandpa. But hang on, let me see this. The Queen of Spain is still alive. That is interesting. And they're still fighting that war with the Moors. That is very, very interesting. And I still have the alliance with them. Looks like that if it's played right, this alliance could win. But again, I'm not gonna go support that, because I got my own war to deal with coming up. I just said that I would support him, when really I'm not going to, just so I don't lose any prestige. Now if I had more than 2,000 troops, maybe I would, but not really. Not now. Yeah, it looks like they're going to actually win against the Moors if it keeps going down that way. He's lucky he has the King of France coming down, because I sure as heck isn't gonna support him. No way. I definitely are not supporting him. Not currently anyways. Scheme failed. Okay, whatever, I guess. Hold up. I have a curiosity right now. Is she blind? Like, let's be real. Is my wife blind? Yes. She is blind. That is crazy. That is nuts. And that claim is almost done. How much time do we actually have on that? Let's take a look at the council. Just about 10 days left on that claim. 12 days, whatever. I have prowled through the ancient documents, prowled through the documents, both ancient and of less certain province, finally have enough material to make the case that you are the rightful lord of Oldham of Devon. See it done. Yeah, that's expensive. That's a lot of money. Anyways, let's go ahead and get that claim. And I'm gonna... What are we dealing with in terms of... Hold up, let me pause this real quick. And before we declare war on this Joker, I want to see what we're dealing with at this point. Yeah, we could crush him easily, I think. So, yeah, we could crush this guy into oblivion. So let's go ahead, declare war, and give England some more territory. He's got 1,400 men. We got 3,000 going for us. And so, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise the armies now. And, well, go besiege his capital. Ireland joined his war. Okay. We're gonna beat his army, and then we'll go for the capital here. Nice. Let's actually go down the finance tree, even though that's not the focus right now. Man, my dude has a stupid beard. Like the whole Italian freaking handlebar mustache bullcrap. That's gonna turn into freaking memes. That's funny. That's kind of funny. Sieging this down 1.6 per day. He's probably gonna try and siege one of my places, but I'm hoping that I'll be done with this siege before he becomes so much of a threat. I wanted to beat his armies in the field, but he moved over, and so I couldn't do that. What I may want to do though is leave besiegers down here and defend my homeland. I think that's what I'm gonna do because there's only 800 troops. So what I'm gonna do is actually leave besiegers here and then turn the rest to defend my homeland. Yeah, that was a smart move because now the battle's in my favor and it has been. Oh yeah, what do you think you're gonna do with 36 men? What the heck, dude? It's just not gonna work. That's not going to change the outcome one bit, brother. 36 men, really? You think that's going to change anything? Let's be honest. You gotta be kidding me. Think you're going to do anything with 36 dudes, really? I caught you now. Now that was a major blow to the Cornish military for sure. Because that's a lot of what they have. Wow. Well, this fight with Cornwall is gonna be just about over. back over to Cornwall. We'll merge the armies, and I don't know if we're going to be able to go over to Ireland and siege them down and be done with this, or what, but I'm gonna try. Yeah, Ireland is sending 400 troops. That's like, seriously, that's not going to do much at all. One of the Irish clans is sending 400 troops, and they expect that to win? Like, you have got to be joking. Let's just face it, guys. You lost this war. Resistance is futile now. Especially after I beat you stupid Irishmen. Okay, that's the wooden barracks. So we just got more men, especially after we shut these guys down. And we're about to kick the Irish butt. And that should put us up to 100% war score, I would think. You have got to be joking. Like, why would you even try this? And now they're sending 41?
Bruh.
Really? You guys gotta be kidding me. You guys are unreal. I just beat 400 of your men, and you're telling me that you're gonna beat me with 41? You've got to be joking. For real, you have got to be kidding. You can't even siege the place down. Wow. This is sad. Like, you really, I think I'm gonna keep the war going just to shove it up their rear. Cause I wanna kick their rear for being so stupid. Wow. Seriously. That's the rest of the Irish forces. 41 men. Wow. That's just sad. Ah. Alright guys, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. I love the changes that they made to the game. It's a little bit harder to get your head around sometimes, because when you pull up the domain page, it used to be just one thing, but now it's multiple tabs that you can click on. So it's a little more organized, and I do like that. But at the same time, it's kind of, it takes a minute to wrap your head around, because you're like, okay, what the heck changed here? But I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. And hopefully Wessex becomes the ruler of Britannia as time goes on. Whether we're going to do that in my lifetime, I do not think so. But hopefully in the future generations, England will be Britannia. Instead of just Wessex in England, it will be the whole entire thing. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.